watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James!
And if you've watched us before, you'll know that we don't really like super SUVs. They're too compromised. They aren't sports cars, and they aren't good SUVs. They're dumb.
But if you make them really, really dumb, they become good again.
So we present to you the Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat. What happens when you take the guts of a Trackhawk, stick it in a Durango, and then spend 3 more years perfecting the formula? Not only is this the ultimate Durango, it's currently the American car maker's ultimate SUV, with upgrades that even the Trackhawk doesn't get.
The cost of such an honor? $81,000 US, and in Canada, for some reason, $116,000. So we want to know, could it possibly justify that price? Because it looks pretty evil.
James, we talked about this. You can't do an evil laugh. It's probably better if I do it.
I can.
That just sounds like you're enjoying a cookie. If you're new to Throttle House, we do car reviews, track tests, and quite a lot of messing around. So subscribe and hit the bell.
See, right away, this is where things like the X5M competition fall down, because they just don't seem to settle. And this one feels like it does. It's a bit like the Trackhawk in that sense. And so if it's a big, cushy, 6-seat SUV that can actually then suddenly go really quick, it could be a massive win. I'll let Thomas talk about whether it accomplishes that task, because he's been living with it. But so far, this is very nice. And yet, when you want to mash it, that Hellcat engine roars. Oh, it's addicting. V8 supercharger, it's perfect. The two of them together becomes an amazing thing. And like the Trackhawk, this is all-wheel drive, so it can put down all of its power, unlike its Charger or Challenger brethren. I would love to try a Demon all-wheel drive. And by the way, when I say horsepower, it's got a lot, 710 horsepower.
It also has the same 645 pound-feet of torque. However, it has access to that torque even lower in the rev range than the Trackhawk.
There you go! Vis-a-vis, concordantly, it's f***ing quick. How quick? Well, Dodge say 3.5 seconds to 60 miles an hour. 3.5 seconds. 5,700 pounds, and they've got the balls to say 3.5 seconds. We're going to put that to the test, because this is Throttle House. Launch control. Left foot on the brake, applying pressure. Here we go. Whoa, wow! 3.3 seconds, 0 to 60. Coming up to the quarter mile now. Oh, it's quick. 11.5. Oh, I got a brake. Oh, I've got a brake. Ooh. Oh, grateful for those SRT brakes. Oh, didn't have much runway left there. 3.3 seconds. That's stock. That's RS7 performance level. Not RS7 performance. It's the RS7 performance level of performance in a 5,700 pound family hauler. What have they done? I mean, this is one fat bastard.
Yeah, it's heavy. But it still has the same claimed 0 to 60 time as the Jeep Trackhawk. But is it the ultimate performance SUV? Because something like this is the ultimate performance SUV, assuming you don't have to live with it or look at it. So with that in mind, maybe the Jeep Trackhawk is the ultimate performance SUV. Except I've driven it and it's kind of boaty. Sometimes it feels like trying to navigate a container ship through the Suez Canal. So with the Durango, they added an internal rebound spring, which is supposed to give it more performance, but prevent the ride from getting too stiff. So has it worked? Well, naturally, we're on a racetrack because I can't seem to drive anything without taking it onto a racetrack. And guess what? This car doesn't belong here. That said, it's ridiculously controlled in the corners. Look at that. Hardly any body lean from what is a 3-row SUV. All right, we're gonna go full track mode everything. At this point, it's getting a bit stiff, yet jittery. I just made fun of that X6M. I was maybe a little bit too harsh on it. It is garbage on the road, full stop. However, out here, I drove that car and it feels like an M5. It's a full sports car. You can drift it around, but it also reminds you that SUVs do not belong on the track, ever. For some reason, manufacturers can't seem to stop adding stiff suspension and powerful engines to these things because, well, people buy them. You know what? Kind of get it, because this, well, big and dumb and stupid, feels like it handles just about as well as a Challenger. I don't know if that's an insult to the Challenger or a compliment to the Durango. Yeah, you know what? It can do the track. This Dodge Durango, this family SUV, can do the track. But you're not gonna go on the track with this. That would be stupid. So we're gonna calm down, we're gonna put it in auto mode, right? Puts everything in street, all-wheel drive, stability, suspension, the whole thing. And as James said, I've been living with this. Here's what I've found. It's kind of addictive, this car. Truck, SUV, whatever it is. You just get used to every little foible it has. You learn to love its problems. You learn to love its strengths. And you end up with what is one of the best performance SUVs that money can buy, full stop. There are areas that I would fault it, to be fair. I would say that the interior isn't quite up to the level of the Trackhawk. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And even though they didn't stiffen the sway bars and upgraded the dampers instead, there's still too much side-to-side motion over the bumps. Because in a world of X6M competitions and GLS 63Ss, all those other Nürburgring-focused idiots, this reigns supreme. They didn't stiffen it too much, they gave it a whole crap ton of power, and just enough handling prowess that it can control its mass. This is how you do a high-performance SUV. And guess what? From a dig, it beat a Lamborghini Urus. And you know, before I go meet James, I'm gonna celebrate that with America's favorite meal.
That took you longer than expected.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
Stopped at McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
We've talked about this.
I'm sorry. It's an American tradition.
I want you to live to enjoy more American traditions. How many have you had today? I feel like I saw you eating 2 earlier.
3.
That was the 3rd.
That's 3.
Well,
Sorry, everybody.
in the spirit of excess,
Yeah. Exactly.
the SRT Hellcat Durango.
Yeah, this thing consumes as much fuel as I do at McMuffins.
It's really fun.
It is really fun.
It's really
isn't
fun. Like, I haven't got out of any of the super SUVs having just had this much level of fun.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
Yeah, well, who thought that 710 horsepower could be enjoyable?
Okay, it looks awesome.
Yes.
It really looks
well,
good.
For 2021, the Durango got some updates. So now it looks more like the wide body Charger. So it's
it does look like a Charger, exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean,
okay.
these LED headlights are aggressive. Still got the two stripes, center stripes.
This is absolutely. How much is this?
That's $1,500.
$1,500 is so worth it.
Yeah, the problem with and Mustangs do the same thing, where it's really expensive from factory, and those sort of things end up making more sense aftermarket. But if you want it rolling off the line with a ribbon on it from your dealership, that's the way to do
it. It comes complete with this Wasp stuff in the grill as well.
It looks really aggressive. I'm trying to think of the other super SUVs.
Yes.
And which one kind of tackles aggressiveness the best, and I'm maybe the Urus, but there's the X5M competition.
Yeah.
There's the GLE 63S.
Yes.
There's the Audi RSQ8.
Yeah, you can go to like Range Rover super autobiography.
But look at the front. None of them have that angry front.
No, they also none of them
LEDs.
have this.
Does that look bigger to you than the normal one? That's a big looking logo.
You know what? You might be right. I'd say
Right?
it's
Like, look at my hand compared to it.
yeah. Well, look at my hand.
Maybe
compared
I've
to it.
shrunk
In case you haven't noticed, James is the hand model on Throttle House. I got these stubby little.
Yeah, he keeps telling me to get out of his swamp. But no, it's a very aggressive looking car. It still looks to me like that kind of classic Home Alone, Where's Kevin vibe.
Well, it's a 3-row American SUV.
Except the front. Except the front.
Two more things I'd like to point out before we
Yeah.
go inside is that the paint is really nice.
Yes, this has got a really nice metallic flake going on.
It does.
20-inch wheels.
And the 2-piece brake rotors, the Brembos, look really, really cool as well.
It's got the full Hellcat treatment. The only thing I could wish for, dear Santa, is to be standing out front of a Pacifica or Hellcat.
I'm waiting for the minivan.
We want it. We've
Okay.
seen renders.
We really
I
want to
want
see it. All right, interior?
Yeah, because that's updated too.
Okay.
No soft close.
Oh.
Unfortunately, that's not one of the updates.
You mean the one time I remembered?
Well, maybe for the price, it should have it, because we kind of get fleeced on this.
In Canada, we really
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yeah. How much more is this than the non-supercharged version?
It's the SRT, more than the SRT, it's 39 grand more. Whereas in the States, I think it's like 15 grand
15
more.
grand US, which
US,
is like maybe 20
early
something.
20s, yeah.
So it's like a significant difference. If you're in the US, congratulations, you can get one of these for cheaper.
Yeah, no different. The car is no different.
It's no
We
different.
just pay more for it, which is a shame, because actually Challengers and Chargers are built right round here, and we get them about the same price.
Yes,
So
yes. This one is not
this
built
is
in Canada.
bullshit.
This is built. This is built in Detroit. This one.
It's bull. It's rubbish. It's garbage.
Is it? Is it?
No, the price is garbage.
The price is garbage.
This is option to like 130 grand
Oh, it's so much money.
for a Durango. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Just give us soft close,
Yeah,
Placate me a little bit.
At least soft close. Okay, couple things to point out.
Normally we get these FCA products or Stellantis.
Stellantis.
And
yeah.
it's poor quality.
But this is not really that. I mean, it's not necessarily on the level of the Germans.
No, definitely
right?
not.
But
But
the stitching is good. This is
it's
all
got some
leather.
fun stuff going on. Yeah, I mean, this is demonic red interior.
Sorry, that's the name of it?
Demonic red.
They have fun, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
They have fun.
The black against demonic red, which fits
Yep.
the two stripes. I think this is spec'd really nicely, actually.
I do. This is nice. This reminds me of the Carbo composites on the
Yeah.
Lamborghini Huracan.
So and this is actually part of an expensive option. That's part of the SRT appearance package.
Okay.
So it's like 3 grand. So you get the carbon fiber, you get the premium buttons,
Premium buttons.
and then the suede headliner.
Yeah, the suede headliner is nice. That's
but
a
the
good thing.
biggest thing
Yes.
with this is this new Uconnect 5.
Okay.
Because if you remember, you used to be able to press SRT, make breakfast, and then change the track.
Yes.
It's-
However, this is faster, but that was simpler.
No, this is fine.
I don't think
SRT.
this is fine. It's
Still
that
slightly
wasn't
slow. No,
very quick.
It was really slow.
I agree.
It would
It was way
it would
too
say
slow.
loading
Yes.
for ages.
No, but this is not. This system is not super intuitive compared to the previous one.
I have
so
no
like
problem
you
with
go to home and then there's apps, right? A couple of these menus went to the same menu when we were figuring things out before.
Yeah, they did.
When I drive modes, it's the same as that button
Yeah.
down there. It's okay. It's okay.
It's a massive improvement. You know what's not a massive improvement?
What?
The rear view camera.
Oh, is it still
It's
not very
terrible.
good?
It's terrible.
Oh,
like
dear.
that's where it doesn't even come close
Okay, yeah.
to the Germans. The steering wheel's from a Dodge Challenger. With
It
the flat
absolutely
bottom.
is just a Challenger steering wheel.
and
Okay.
the gauge cluster. I mean, what is that speedometer? What
You know,
is
okay,
that?
listen. The speedometer looks cool. Like it looks cool.
But you would never read. You have to have.
Oh,
the,
sorry, that speedometer.
Yeah, the actual tack. Like you'd have
That's
the
no
digital readout. Look how small those numbers are.
It's completely pointless. I
Yeah.
wonder if it's there for like regulations or something. Because like, why would you ever use it?
No,
You
and
use-
if you're someone like me who only hangs around from like 280 to 320.
Oh yeah, you just leave.
I can't tell.
Live on the fast side of life. This guy right here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's life in the fast lane. No, I really don't have a problem with this car. The seats are comfortable.
The seats are comfortable.
They're
However,
wide.
I find that they're a bit hard. They're a bit
Yeah.
hard, like a bit stiff.
They're-
but
they're heated, they're
really,
cooled.
really adjustable. Like you can, like this leans way back. Like not the back. I mean the base part.
Yeah.
Which is nice. You can get like this kind of like, oh yeah.
You forget that this has 3 rows. I haven't played with an SRT screen that's all this stuff, and yet there's still.
And that there's still 3 rows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is also another option. You can get in the second row can become a bench, So it becomes lighter. It's a performance package to make it lighter, and then it deletes the third row.
Okay.
There is a version of the Durango Hellcat where you do a third row delete.
Why?
It's called a track hog, people.
Yeah, I was going to say, just get the track hawk at that point. Really.
I wanted the extra. I guess it would be massive boot space. It'd be the ultimate a companion for a track day.
I guess, yeah. I mean, you could do the track day in the car that you towed there, and then do also the track day in the car that you towed with.
But you wouldn't be able to take any more people than within the bench. I guess 5.
This is a weird vehicle.
It's really weird.
Why does it exist?
But you know what? All these super SUVs are so silly.
Yes.
But this wins by just being the most silly.
It's the most silly. It's the most fun. I think it is.
And yet, amongst the 3-row power SUVs, it's not the most silly in price. As is tradition, where the Germans offer a classier, maybe stuffier, higher-end experience, the Durango Hellcat makes its case as the performance-oriented, cheaper American option. And if you saw our drag race with it, you'll know that it really makes its case.
So while we generally don't go in for this whole super SUV thing, we are constantly on the lookout for a manufacturer who actually manages to pull it off. The Durango gets as close as we've ever seen. Stupid power, tons of usability, and just enough comfort that it passes as an actual SUV. And no, you certainly don't need one. You'd be fine with the SRT. But this is a Hellcat. And when has that badge ever been about need?